All right, let's just jump right into this. We all have this idea, right? That in a crisis, our brain is going to kick into high gear and save the day. But what if I told you that's not what it's built to do at all? In fact, your own brain might be the one thing that gets in your way. And this idea right here, this is probably the most important thing you need to get your head around when it comes to performing under pressure. It sounds kind of crazy, I know, but it is the key to everything. Your brain isn't some superhero waiting in the wings. It's something else entirely. You see, here's the thing. Your brain is, at its core, a pattern-matching machine. It's built to run on autopilot, repeating familiar routines and scripts. That's fantastic for our day-to-day lives, but it's also exactly why in a totally new emergency, super smart people can do things that seem, well, completely illogical. They're not panicking. Their brain is just running the wrong software. And this is where we need to reframe the whole thing. We love to throw around the word panic, which makes it feel like some kind of personal weakness. But the reality? It's a biological process. You're not losing your mind. You're simply being downgraded to a more primitive operating system. So what is this downgrade really? Let's break down what's actually happening inside your head when those ancient survival instincts hijack the system. First, the physical stuff hits you like a ton of bricks. Your heart just starts hammering away in your chest, trying to pump blood to your big muscles to get you ready to move. And then your whole world starts to change. You get that classic tunnel vision because your brain is literally filtering out anything it doesn't think is essential to staying alive right this second. Even sounds can get all muffled. But here's the absolute killer. The most advanced part of your brain, the part that does all the logic and reasoning, it's the first thing to get shut down. Why? Because from your brain's ancient point of view, thinking is just too slow. It's too expensive when you might be about to die. So let's give it a name, the downgrade. It's that state where your brain just goes nope and hands the keys over to its oldest, most primitive core. This system is lightning fast, yeah, but it is not smart. It was built to deal with a tiger in the bushes, not a complicated modern crisis. And when you're in this downgraded state, your options become ridiculously simple. You've basically got 3 big red buttons you can push. Fight, run, or freeze. And that last one, pretend nothing is happening. That's huge. It explains why people just stand there during an accident, or why witnesses sometimes don't even call for help. Their brain just slammed the play dead button. Now, here is the most backward, counterintuitive part of this whole thing. If you're someone who is really logical, really intelligent, you might actually be at a bigger disadvantage. Think about it. You spent your entire life relying on your thinking brain, right? But in a downgrade, that's the first part to go offline, leaving you completely without your number one tool. Okay, so that's the bad news. It's biological, it's deep-seated, and it can happen to literally anyone. But the good news is, you are not helpless. You can actually learn how to interrupt this ancient loop and reboot your own brain. The answer isn't to just try to calm down. I mean, that's impossible when you're downgraded. The real answer is to create a pattern interrupt. You need to jolt the system to force it to switch programs. And it can be something incredibly simple, a sharp, deliberate action, saying a single loud word, or making a specific physical movement. And this isn't just some nice theory, you know? This is proven in the most high-stakes professions on the planet. When soldiers shout in combat, it's not just for show. It's a pattern interrupt to break that freeze response. When a pilot grabs a checklist, that physical action forces their thinking brain back online. And all those stories you hear about survivors talking to themselves, that's them, in real time, hijacking their own mind to stay in the game. So let's talk about what this really looks like, this transformation. Because this is about more than just getting through it. It's about shifting from being a passenger in your own body to actually grabbing the steering wheel. You know, the key is self-talk. The second you can say, even just inside your own head, okay, this is happening. I am here, I need to move. You've started the reboot. That simple act of just naming the situation forces the logical part of your brain to start waking up again. And just look at the difference it makes. It's night and day. In the downgraded state, your mind is a total blank, time feels like it's squeezing in on you, and you have 0 options. But after you reboot, your mind is back online. Time actually feels like it stretches, giving you room to think, and suddenly you can see a way forward. Options appear. So the next time you freeze up or you see somebody else do it, remember this. It's not a failure of character. It's not a lack of courage. The brain isn't broken. It's just running a very, very old piece of software. It followed an ancient script. You know, the difference between people who make it through a crisis and those who don't, it often comes down to this one piece of knowledge. You now know the script. You understand the program your brain wants to run. So the only real question is, when the time comes, are you going to be the one to break it?